Though we have all traveled many uncertain roads, we have always recognized something wasn't right. We searched high and low, yet our paths had never intersected. Our desire to seek truth, then to speak true, has brought us all together. That thing of ours is rooted in truth, because truth is the only unshakable foundation. In the greatest book, it states in John 8:32, "For ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
Truth is a powerful force. It is the foundation on which all great achievements are built, and the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When we are rooted in truth, we can be confident that our decisions and actions are grounded in reality rather than in speculation or wishful thinking.
The pursuit of truth is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and a willingness to face uncomfortable facts. But in the end, the truth is always worth it. It allows us to make better decisions, to build stronger relationships, and to create a more just and equitable world.
From politics and world events to entertainment and pop culture, we've got you covered. We'll explore our history and the stories that matter to uncover the truth that lies at the heart of each one. With our fingers on the pulse of the news cycle, we'll provide the insights and analysis you need to stay informed and engaged. As we stay rooted in truth and let the truth guide us in all that we do, let us be willing to listen, to learn, and seek out the facts, even when they challenge our own assumptions or beliefs.
Let us never forget that the pursuit of truth is not just an individual endeavor, but a collective one. Only by working together
With honesty and integrity,
can we build a better future for ourselves
And for generations to come.
This
is That Thing of Ours. How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us today on this Tuesday, 21st of January, 2025. That would be Liberation Day +2.
one.
Or +1. Yeah, that's right. Well, it'd be L2. Yeah, but whatever. Anyways, we're happy all of y'all are here. Thanks for joining us. Like to thank. Look at you shaking your head now. Put your camera on and talk shit. No? All right.
Busy.
Anyway, whatever. She says she's busy. Anyways, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and Pill.net.
And if you haven't already,
What's wrong with your microphone?
all right, I don't.
Oh, there it goes.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. If you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you're on Facebook, there's like 7 choices. And you're our family.
Yeah.
We know you like to push buttons, so clickety-click away.
Push the buttons, everybody. We do truly appreciate it. It helps us out greatly. Man, all right. So here's we're gonna just jump right in, start saying hi to everybody. Yo, what's up, F Clan? Hey, Chachi. What's up, brother Bill? There's Mike. How you doing, Mike? There's Steph. What's going on? Let's see. Anybody else pop in just recently? No, does not appear so. All right. It's snowing here and cold. What? Getting bullied, man.
Yes, I am.
Whatever. She doesn't need any of your help. Anyways, I saw something about snow. There we go.
Yeah.
Snowing here and cold. 27 going down to 16. Oh, and the wind chill going to make it feel even colder. Only getting to 30 tomorrow. Oof. I do love the desert
It
sometimes.
was 23 when we woke up this morning.
I know it was miserable. It was so cold.
So cold.
Brr.
I don't like it at all.
Kay's got a little bit of a frog in her throat.
Yep.
Whatever. Anyways. There we go. All right. 5. Oh, man. What?
No, you keep that junk, Mike.
5
Just
degrees.
keep it.
There's Hope. Hey, Hope.
Hey, Angie.
How you doing?
It's snowing and cold there. It's just cold and miserable everywhere, guys.
I mean, at least we don't have snow.
Yeah, I'm sure Mount Charleston's getting it.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I don't know if it's getting snow right now, but it's definitely
They
cold.
were calling for it earlier.
Oh, were they?
Mhm.
Well, I know it's 30 degrees colder than it is here, so
Yeah.
it makes it about 18 degrees.
I know.
Woo.
It's about 18 degrees up there.
Screw that.
Woo! Not a time to go to Mount Charleston.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely. Winter wonderland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Had 10 below. What? At 6 a.m. Oh,
Ooh.
Chachi, that's awful.
Seriously?
Panama City Beach, Florida has snow? What on earth is going on? What in the harp is going on?
Right?
Oh, do I still have my harp or did I get rid of? I think I got rid of my harp.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got rid of my harp. Oh well, whatever. We didn't use it very much anyways.
Well, that's what you get.
That and I keep hitting wrong buttons and everything.
Yeah, I
anyways.
know. 8 below at midday.
Mm.
Oh, F Clan.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cold out there. The islands.
I know. What is it, like 75, 80?
It's probably about 60.
I need to go visit F Clan.
Excuse me.
There's the other part of Mike Squared.
There's Mike. There's the other Mike. What's going on, Mike?
Chachi says,
so
well, so cold, my teeth hurt. Oh, 74.
There-
I was close.
Frio.
I was close.
Muy frio down there, sir. Muy frio.
Yeah. You better get out a big jacket, F Clan 74. You're going to freeze.
Puffy jacket weather
It's
right
puffy jacket weather, F Clan. Puffy jacket weather.
All right.
Oh.
Why don't we dive right in and make
Okay.
everybody's day miserable by showing them Liz Cheney?
Ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
President Trump on Traitor Joe pardoning warmongering RINO Liz Cheney. She's a lunatic.
She really is.
She
She's
really
not
is.
lying.
Well, I mean, that apple
Yeah.
didn't fall far from that tree.
Yeah. Mike says it was 7 degrees at 6 this morning here in Jersey.
Oh,
Okay.
Why do y'all put up with that?
Okay. We're moving on to the hooker.
Everybody needs to move to California because Lord knows all of California has moved out. I don't even know if anybody's left in California anymore.
I know. All right, let's listen.
All right.
Everybody, how about this J6 committee? Why is he pardoning them? The reason is because if you delete and destroy documentation, everything, they have nothing because they were guilty as hell. They rigged it. It was a rigged deal. And when you do that, they look very bad, but I was a little surprised he did it. Liz Cheney, I mean, she's a lunatic. And she lost by the greatest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress, like 40 points. The reason it was the greatest is because anybody losing that badly is going to drop out. But she's a nut job. She doesn't drop out. You know, she just keeps chugging forward. And she lost by almost 40 points. That's the biggest number anybody's ever lost by. But why would Biden do that? He pardoned her and pardoned everybody. The reason is that they destroyed documents. And if you're even in a civil case, which this wouldn't be, I mean, people go to jail for a long time for doing that.
Thoughts?
I know that people are like upset about this, and understandably so, but there's been lots of information that's come out about this. And okay, we already know that President Trump said yesterday specifically that the 2020 election was stolen.
Huh?
And if it was stolen, then that means it was based in fraud. And we
Yeah.
all know about the Supreme Court ruling, fraud vitiates everything. So
Correct.
it could easily, poof, vaporize everything that he did there. But also on top of that, the legal experts are already, throwing their opinion in on this. And we come down here, legal experts, let me try this again. Words are hard. Legal experts quickly pointed out that the pardons are actually great news for those seeking justice against those individuals. The pardons do not shield recipients from testifying under oath in civil, criminal, or congressional proceedings. All right. So it blocks them from evoking the Fifth Amendment. And that's really one of the biggest things that's going to help out. Now, is that going to help out with Anthony Fauci? Okay, look, we already know that he's rotten, that he's dirty, but if he is excluded, if he can't plead the Fifth on anything, then all of the information is going to come out. We're going to start to find out because I know the Biden crime family is not good, but the Biden crime family only exists because of the group of people that are, in their orbit. So that would mean that they could talk about the Bushes. That would mean that they could talk about the Clintons. Means that they could talk about the Obamas. They could talk about all sorts of people. And so, if that crime family actually kind of is able to weasel their way out of any kind of prosecution, it may not be the worst thing on the planet. I mean, it's not good, but the worst thing is that they wouldn't be able to, or that they could still continue to, or that they could plead the fifth. Therefore, we'd never get any information. Now they have to talk. So that's one of the positives about all of this. But I don't think too much of this is going to stick in the end. Steph says, yeah, they can be pardoned all they want to be here in the United States, but they can't be pardoned in Ukraine or Russia. And that's an excellent point, too. I mean, doesn't say that we can't extradite them. Oh, look, Russia says that they want you for crimes against humanity. That sucks. Also, there's The Hague. We could be going into Nuremberg 2.0. That would most certainly not protect Anthony Fauci from any, because that would happen in The Hague. That's not here in the United States. And that's one of the things that the United States has done, is protected these people from the international courts, whereas President Trump might decide to play along with the courts, the International Criminal Court, and that would be huge. Chachi says military justice is different than civilian justice. That is one of those things that was surprisingly left out of that list of things that they're free from, isn't it? Because then they wouldn't be Americans, they would be combatants. And they would be combatants, and that's under the Geneva Convention, and that's not going to work out very well for them either. They think, these slick moves were made, but they don't have the support that they would need to be able to make all of it work. Where there's a will, there's a way, and I have a feeling that President Trump has a great will to kind of make sure that all of them don't have the chance to come back at anybody ever again. Mike says, if no charges have been given, the pardons won't stick. Yeah, there's that too. Oh, that list is going to grow. Yeah, the lists are going to grow exponentially. Hey, Aaron, what's going on,
Aaron.
man? Nice.
Okay, you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
President Trump says, America's decline is over.
Let's listen.
Thank God.
I know.
America's decline is over. Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government.
Thoughts?
We're on the way up. See, the thing is we've been hamstrung this entire time, and now it's being taken away. Everything that's been hamstringing absolutely every American except for the chosen elite and their band of gay raiders or whatever they have going on there, Millie and such. They're not going to get that hand up.
No.
That they've been using everybody else's resources, time, money, everything else like that. They don't have that anymore. And I think that's going to be one of the things that's going to be a little bit difficult for a lot of people to truly grasp the enormity of it, is because we don't know how much we've been prevented from actually living this entire time. And now that President Trump is there, the wheels of the economy are going to start going again like it was 4 years ago when he was here. But I think it's going to be at a much greater level than it was before, because so many of those loopholes and all the ways that they were able to manipulate the economy through the government. Just think about, here's one thing that's changed absolutely everything, and that's the Chevron deference. That's not there anymore. That's going to change so much stuff in and of itself. So we got all of these things going on. Like I said, it's been so long, we don't even know how free we can be at this point, but it's coming. And so just start doing the things that you would do otherwise if you were in a free nation, because we really are. And we're going to find out how free we're really going to be here real soon. This is an exciting time. I know
really
I'm
is.
motivated about all of it.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Scott Jennings. Oh, geez. Where's my glasses? I didn't bring my glasses. Oh, what a shame. Hey, Texas Liberty. Thanks for joining. While Kay's getting ready to read that, and then I'm going to have to go run and get my glasses. She says, even if the swamp received a federal pardon, it seems like some state AGs could prosecute. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't think that a state can override a federal pardon.
Right.
Yeah.
But Scott Jennings says the words that came to mind to me were gritty, resilient, determined, and audacious. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, watching Donald Trump's day today, I'm just struck by the fact that we have a president again. I mean, look at this guy's day. Free speeches, 196 executive actions, holds a 90-minute press conference narrating each one as he goes along. I mean, Joe Biden could not and would not offer the kind of transparency or vigor to the American people that we got here on day one from Trump. And tonight, Trump's going to throw on a tux and go to 3 balls. I mean, he's having an active day. I think it's going to be a massive amount of contrast here for a presidency like what we're going to see out of Trump and versus what we've had out of Biden. I was watching Trump today, and Van and I were talking earlier today, watching him walk down the hall of the Capitol, and the words that came to mind to me were gritty, resilient, determined, and audacious. There's not like a more perfect advertisement for the value of these qualities in modern America. I mean, you think about all the things that happened to him: winning, losing, the court cases, nearly being assassinated. It's rather audacious what he has accomplished, winning this election and taking office today. And you said you were in shock. Well, Republicans are in awe.
What about with the pardons? What's your take on that?
Here's what I think. Were these people punished? Yes. Were they ruined financially? Yes. Did they spend time in jail? Yes. Have their lives been ruined? Absolutely. And one of you said earlier, Van or Axe, that you think this sends a terrible signal that you can get away with things like this, as though we've never had a moment in recent American history when people were not punished for rampaging around when they shouldn't have been. It was the summer of 2020. And these people were actually punished. Those people were never even charged.
Hey, that's not true at all.
That's not true. Most charges were not.
Let him answer. But I do see it differently in that I don't like it when people tear up buildings at all. I'm not a part of some pro-riot, pro-crime lobby.
Mm-hmm. Sure you are.
Dickhead. Thoughts?
All right, but of course, yeah, he's an Obama acolyte.
Yeah.
Yeah, real special there.
I agree, F. Clint.
I agree, F. Clint.
Big
Yeah.
Mike.
He likes it. Yeah, he loves Big Mike, would be my guess. Yeah. He plays power bottom for Big Mike, would be my guess. But that's neither here nor there in this conversation. That's for a later conversation when the truth comes out about Big Mike. Anyways, he called President Trump gritty, resilient, determined, and audacious. I mean, those are great words, and they're flowery, and they're nice and everything. Thing is there's really not too many words we can use to describe what President Trump has had to go through. He has been all alone in so many ways. Has he had supporters? Yes. He got exactly what he wished for, and that is that he would lose everything, basically, so that way he could find out who his real friends are. And he certainly found out who his real friends are. Yeah, exactly, Brother Bell. Van Jones, total Marxist Obama lover. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, we're ready for that guy to go down too. He didn't get covered by any pardons. Huh, that's weird.
Maybe he's butt hurt.
Wait, no, I got to change it.
There we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Can you read that, please?
Oh, jeez. You do this to me. I need a monocle.
Buy one.
I'm sure Timu has some. On the fly, Trump orders Chief of Staff Susie Wiles to get to the bottom of the mystery drones. Oh, this will be fun.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
But is it anything these drones? Is it anything that people need to be worried?
No, I think it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of?
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie? Okay, yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy, or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting. Right?
And with the events today, and
Thoughts?
All right, so the drones. Hey, Skunk, what's going on? All right, Skunk, before we get on with it, Skunk says, I do agree. We can't start allowing people to destroy buildings with no punishment. I agree with you 100% there. But my perspective in all of this is how many of the people that were destroying the buildings
In the summer of love.
were part of Fed Front? Were the feds that were actually doing their informants and whatnot, the people that were encouraging it. See, the people that did it that were just kind of following along, we know that a lot of people are just followers, and there's nothing that we can really do about that except for dealing with the people that are trying to lead people to do things, or to lead people astray from what it is that their better judgment, if they were using their own brain, would do otherwise. So I'm not too terribly mad at so many of the people. The people that I'm upset with are the people that were either paid for by the government to be agitators, or the people that were given some kind of a free pass by the government to agitate. Those people knew that they were trying to entrap people, and they should have known better.
Okay.
And so to me, that treason is much greater than the followers who followed through with the stuff that the traitors were trying to create a problem. That's where my anger lies. Should the building have been destroyed or wrecked or anything? No, not at all. I do believe
But
that there needs to be justice.
within the ropes.
Right, but there were people who were breaking windows. There were people who were hucking
Yeah,
stuff
the
around.
feds.
For the most part, there were some people who weren't using their damn brain, and they should have to. They should have to recoup the funds, or pay for the damage that they had. I believe that that's fair, but and that, and the fact that so many of them have been jailed this whole time. So I'd say that their debt to society may have been paid based off of the little bit of damage that was done. If we want to talk about real damage, let's talk about what happened in Minneapolis. Let's talk about what happened when the Democrats burnt DC down before. They're the ones putting the pipe bombs out. They're the ones doing all these other things. There's a precedence in terms of what should be dealt with first, and the people who are walking within the ropes, that they don't have any reason to be in jail, certainly anymore.
Yeah.
Mike says Trump will say it was military and we can't talk about it. Yeah.
How about the drones? Talking on back to the drone
about the drones.
video.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about the drones. Okay, thanks, Mike. So the drones, I think some of it was military, but I think a lot more of it was experimentation by the drone manufacturers. I think it was the military industrial complex. And then I think that we will hear about the military in general, but I think that the military was probably doing operations that were leading to picking up a lot of the people that are going to be snatched up here in the future.
Yeah.
That one's going to be interesting. It's kind of a side note at this point in time, unless they were actually harming people with death beams or something stupid like that. But I wouldn't put it past the military industrial complex to do something like that against the people of this country. After all, they killed how many people in their experiments? Citizens at that. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the whole drone thing. But I hope that that's a big nothing burger, other than the fact that it was the government just playing with new toys.
Exactly. How about some Craig?
Yeah,
You
we
ready?
could use some Craig.
If you're struggling, you're hurting, you're dissatisfied, there's something in you that it's not the way it should be. If you're hurting, maybe it's because you're putting something before God in your life, and that idolatry is taking a toll on your life. Maybe you find yourself, you've got constant tension all the time. You always feel overwhelmed. You're anxious. Maybe you battle with depression. It might be that you feel disconnected from God. You like try to talk to him, but you don't sense him. Or maybe you feel disconnected from people. You don't have anybody that you really trust in your life, anyone that you can open up with and bare your soul and don't know if they're really going to be there for you or love you or accept you. Maybe you spend more money than you make trying to fill some void on the inside. Or you drink too much, smoke too much, get high, trying to numb the pain. And you think that, whatever that is, you think that's your problem. I would suggest that, whatever that is not likely your problem. That is likely a symptom of your problem. And the real problem is very likely idolatry. It's that we're putting something in God's place.
Thoughts?
It's a big problem. We do try to put a lot of things in the place of God. We're always seeking, some kind of joy or happiness, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But, we bury our head in our work because we have this goal that we would like to achieve. And then, we work extra hard to get to achieve that goal. And then it's kind of hollow in the end. Yeah, we're happy with what we got and all that other stuff, but it doesn't really fill what you're looking for. And so those things become our idol. They become our God. And it says as much in the Bible that, it's what you do, what you put first is your priority is your God. And so if your God is money, if it's fashion, if it's cars, if it's houses, if it's, whatever it is, if it comes first, then that is your idol. And that's why we can end up feeling hollow and not being fulfilled with all of these things that we try to make our lives and those lives of those around us better. And that could even be giving 100% to yourself, 110% to yourself, for a spouse or a child or whatever the case is. And then, they're happy because they got that toy for a little bit of time. And so we end up reinforcing negative behavior patterns. So we have to recognize what is it that our heart is actually looking for. And really what we're trying to do is to get to that point where you can sit on the front porch and sip on a glass of tea for an indeterminate amount of time and not have any cares or worries in the world. There may be things going on. It doesn't mean that nothing's going on. It just means that you're at peace. And that peace can only be found once we get comfortable with who we are in our relationship with our Creator. It's a practice. It's something that has to be done every day. Little bits each and every day is practice, like you're trying to do better at baseball. You hit the batting cages every day. And that's what you do. Just hit the batting cages and it will improve and you will find that peace. But it is a practice. And so that will keep us from feeling that anxiety because we're not getting that special something that it is that we're seeking constantly. Hey, Jenny. Oh, hold on. That was the wrong one. I was about to give her a sheet.
Watch out for the frogs, Jenny.
Watch out for the frogs,
So glad
Jenny.
you're back home.
Yeah, welcome home. Hope you guys had an amazing time.
Yeah.
She said there were a few guys with megaphones preaching and saying Trump was the Antichrist and saying Mary was a whore too when we were in D.C. Yeah, some people just want to watch the world burn and they're going to talk some mad shit. But that's who they are, trying to evoke a reaction. But at least those agitators weren't actually encouraging anybody to go storm the Capitol.
Yeah. Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Dawn.
Scott says, I do know some very happy people that just like weed. They don't drink, just smoke weed. Not sure it's all because of having issues. I agree. I believe God gave us that medicine for a reason.
I believe it is a medication. And I think that, it is something that can be truly helpful for so many people, especially considering the amount of psychological trauma that we've all been going through. And that's it's something that's been going on since before ancient Rome, right? Think about how hardcore people were 40, 50 years ago. People had a lot less patience. They were a lot more stern. They were a lot more physically confrontational. And these are the things that have kind of stepped down. It's been a long path and we still have a long way to go. But the weed would do the world a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Yeah.
I know it changed my life. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You're smoking the wrong kind then. If
paranoid. Stay
that-
away from the sativas.
yeah, you can't use sativas.
Yeah, stay away from the sativas.
Yep. You ready?
Yeah,
Can you read that, please?
sure. Pearl clutching Chris Murphy gets shut down by Elise Stefanik over Elon's Heil Hitler hoax moment. Oh God.
Ready?
Yeah.
Senator Murphy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much, Representative, for your commitment to the country and your willingness to serve. I deeply appreciate the work that you have done to combat anti-Semitism. I appreciate your commitment to bring that work to the United Nations. I think it is a cancer, both domestically and internationally. You and I worked together over the last year and a half to dramatically increase funding for the not-for-profit security grant program that sends money to synagogues and Jewish community centers to invest in security upgrades. I'm heartbroken that we need to do that, but it is an important moment to support those communities. I agree that it's a problem you will confront at the UN. It is also a problem, as you have raised, domestically, both on the right and the left. I think anti-Semitism work is best when we call out what's happening on both sides of the aisle. What do you think of Elon Musk, perhaps the president's most visible advisor, doing 2 Heil Hitler salutes last night at the president's televised rally?
No, Elon Musk did not do those salutes. I was not at the rally, but I can tell you I've been at many rallies with Elon Musk, who loves to cheer when President Trump says we need to send, our U.S. space program to Mars. Elon Musk is a visionary. I'm looking forward to his work in DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, and look forward to looking how we can be more efficient and effective. But that is simply not the case. And to say so is the American people are smart. They see through it. They support Elon Musk. We are proud to be the country of such successful entrepreneurs. That is one of our greatest strengths as Americans.
Let me share with you what a few Americans have said about it. Evan Kilgore, a right-wing political commentator, wrote on X, "Holy crap, did Elon Musk just Heil Hitler at the Trump inauguration rally? This is incredible. We are so back." Andrew Torba, who's the founder of the right-wing Christian nationalist social platform Gab, said incredible things are happening as he amplified the visual. The Proud Boys chapter in Ohio posted the clip on a Telegram channel with the text "Heil Trump." A chapter of the white nationalist group White Lives Matter posted it on Telegram. "Thanks for hearing us, Elon. The white flame will rise again." I could keep going. Over and over last night, white supremacist groups and neo-Nazi groups in this country rallied around that visual. Does it concern you that those elements of the neo-Nazi and white supremacist element in the United States believe that what they saw last night was a neo-Nazi salute?
What concerns me is these are the questions you believe are most important to ask to the UN ambassador. I have a very strong record when it comes to combating anti-Semitism. We just had a historic election where President Trump earned historic support from American voters because of his strong leadership combating anti-Semitism, which has been a scourge across the country, skyrocketing since October 7th. So I intend to bring moral clarity to this position and continue to speak out as a voice, as a beacon of light, condemning anti-Semitism at the United Nations, which is representative of President Trump's record and President Trump's promises that he made on the campaign trail.
You are right.
Thoughts?
All right. So really, and she did a great job because she pointed out it's like, I have nothing to do with Elon. That's other people. And she has a good track record of combating that. So that was just a political ploy to try to sling mud because it's all they have left. Elon, he's been in the game long enough. He should know better than to play any kind of stunt that has anything to do with, Hitler or something like that. Dumb, very dumb, but it is what it is. And did Elon actually do that, or were they stretching, reaching? I wasn't really
They were
clear.
reaching.
They were reaching, yeah. which they always do. But it gives the people on the left something to talk about. See, you brought in Hitler. They've been playing the everybody I don't like is Hitler card for so long that even when people make a joke about it because people are sick and tired of the accusation of anti-Semitism and crap like that, it just whatever.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But yeah, don't even get close to pointing out anything Hitler, pro-Hitler. It's just dumb. Jenny says, almost like that spoiled rich kid that begs dad for something, and when they get it, they don't want it. Yeah, well. Reaching. It was a Roman time salute. See, and that's another thing, too, is Americans have not been taught that salute used to be typical for America until the Nazi Party came out. Everybody did the so-called Hitler salute, but it wasn't a Nazi or Hitler anything. It was Rome. It was Roman because we're a republic like Rome was supposed to be before it turned into an empire. See, that's one of the things that makes things difficult is because the education system has not really been very educational. So much stuff that so many people don't know that if we were actually to find out the truth, we'd all be a lot more pissed off than we already are.
Yeah.
F. Clint says he grabbed at his heart and threw it into the audience. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Jeez.
Hey, Wendy.
Hey, Wendy. All right. So.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
UN ambassador nominee Elise Stefanik on Trump pulling out of the World Health Organization. He was right in his decision.
Ready?
Yes, he was.
I have several more questions, but I just want to touch on one last one very quickly. And that has to do with accountability at the World Health Organization. If you take into consideration the concerns around the COVID pandemic, what happened there, the WHO role there, President Trump, I believe, rightly withdrew us from supporting and funding WHO. President Biden put us back into that, into being a funder. In fact, the largest funder, $1.3 billion so far to that organization from United States taxpayers. What are your thoughts on the accountability that we've received so far, and where would you like to take that? Thanks.
I support President Trump's decision to walk away from WHO. WHO failed on a global stage in the COVID pandemic for all the world to see, and instead spewed CCP talking points that I believe led to not only false information, but dangerous and deadly information across the globe. We cannot tolerate entities that are taken over by CCP propaganda. So I strongly support President Trump knows when to engage and knows when to walk away. He was right in his decision to walk away from WHO, and I support that.
I was pleased to see that action yesterday as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Thoughts?
Well, it sounds like President Trump knows when to hold him, knows when to fold him, know when to walk away. Oh my God. And knows when to run. And the World Health Organization is definitely something we need to run away from because they don't need our money, because we know that they use our money to create bioweapons that they use against us, so that way they can sell us a whole bunch of products that we don't want from an entire industry designed specifically around keeping people sick in perpetuity, because it's a good business model for them.
Well,
Just a thought.
I know.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. Good luck without funding.
I know. Can you read that, please?
Yes. Still need my monocles. Pardon J6er Brandon Straka gives tearful appreciation to Donald Trump.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So many people, 5 people have committed suicide because they could not endure the brutality of what Joe Biden's Department of Justice has done. For them, justice is coming too late, and no pardon is going to help them. But I will say, from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to President Trump, because I know I've been told that so many people, Republicans, were giving him pushback and telling him not to pardon the January 6th defendants. But on his first day in office, he kept his promise. And he went in and he pardoned all of us. And I know that this is going to relieve a lot of people's pain. It's the first step, I think, towards bringing a little bit of healing and a little bit of justice for so many people whose lives have been absolutely destroyed by Joe Biden and his Department of Justice.
Thoughts?
So this is just touching on one of the problems with the entire system the way it is, because these people were tortured, right? If people get to the point where they feel like they would rather be dead than spend another day in some kind of American gulag, those people who are running that are personally liable, and they committed murder. If they get people to want to do that, not only is it murder, but it's just pure mental torture. And they were torturing these people. I know that I've seen the videos, and we've played them here on this show, where they just had the fire alarm continuously going on, and it was never getting changed or removed. And so the prisoners have no choice. The prisoners of war have no choice but to sit there and get the psychological operation to mentally break them down. And so those people need to be held to account, and they should be certainly part of any kind of military tribunals that are going on. But I don't believe that it's just that one specific gulag in DC that's the problem. I have a feeling that there's gulags all over this nation, that it's really just designed to be miserable for the people who were unfortunate enough to get caught for the crimes. And yes, people who do crimes, they need to, get fixed before they get put back into society. But I have yet to see anybody go into prison and come out a fully functioning, mentally healthy beacon of society. As a matter of fact, I see that they have nothing but more problems trying to reintegrate back into society. I find that to be criminal even in and of itself. These people that do crimes and get sent to jail, they need help. Otherwise, they wouldn't be getting sent to jail to begin with. And until we can learn how to take care of our criminal population and help them see the light, we're stuck. And so the prison industrial complex, I pray, but I haven't heard too much about it come out of President Trump, but I pray that that's something that's going to get some fixing coming up here real soon, because we need that fixing desperately.
Exactly. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that, please?
Hobo talks about Donald Trump. Never mind. That's Billy Ray Cyrus.
Let's listen.
Oh, God.
I will say, when President Trump stood up and he had that blood on his face and he stood up and raised his fist and said, "Fight," that was one of the photographs and moments of the most defining definition of some gave all. That was the true spirit of the heart and soul that this country was built on, the bravery. The man got shot in the face and stood up and said, "Fight." And brave people, heroes like Corey, his family, so many there, made that sacrifice surrounding Mr. Trump. And this moment, Sunday, is to honor Corey, his family, the heroes, President Trump, the First Lady, and a new day in America, a new day in the world, a new day of celebration. It's time to turn the page and move forward. I think the whole world, our country, is excited about this moment in time.
Thoughts?
Is he going for reggae next? Like, what's going on there?
I don't know.
I don't know. That was interesting. Steph says he was a wreck last night. I was very disappointed in him last night. Billy Ray Cyrus. Yeah, that's I mean, that was interesting. He wasn't rambling too much or anything, not any more than I do here, so can't fault him on that one. But yeah, the appearance was, it's just wow. There's some interesting going on there. Some very interesting going on there. Huh.
Very. Are
Maybe,
you ready?
maybe he's playing other characters or something.
I don't know what he's doing.
That's what I'm going with. He's playing other characters. He's staying in character.
Oh, I just want you to know we got a blue pill over on pilled,
Did
but
we?
what they don't understand is it's still engagement.
Well, it is an
punk.
engagement. Thank you very much. Appreciate your engagement.
Yep.
And by the way, if y'all don't mind, go ahead and give us that thumbs up, red pill, or a heart.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's listen.
All right.
God is saying to you today, I am the Lord, your shepherd. I have always been with you, and I will never leave your side. No matter what you're going through, I am here to guide you, provide for you, and protect you. I lead you beside quiet waters, bringing peace to your soul, even in the midst of chaos. When your heart is heavy and your mind overwhelmed, I restore your soul. I know the valley you're walking through may seem dark right now, but hear this. Even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, fear no evil, for I am with you. You are not alone. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I cover your back. My rod and my staff will guide and comfort you, even when the path seems uncertain. Do not fear the shadows, for they cannot overshadow my light. Right now, I am preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Yes, I am blessing you, right in front of those who doubted you or tried to bring you down. I will anoint your head with oil, and your cup will overflow with blessings. You may not see it yet, but trust that I am working behind the scenes, aligning everything in your favor. Your breakthrough is coming, and it will be bigger than you've imagined. I'm not just going to meet your needs, I'm going to exceed your expectations. My goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life. That means every step you take, I'm surrounding you with my love, my favor, and my grace. I won't let you fall, my child. So let go of your worries, let go of your fears. Trust in my plan for you, because it is good. I know exactly where you are, and I know exactly what you need. I'm leading you into greener pastures where you will find rest and peace. I see the weight you've been carrying, and I'm telling you now, you don't have to carry it anymore. Cast your burdens on me, because I care for you. When you feel weak, lean on me, for I am your strength. I will refresh you, renew you, and give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Remember, in my presence, there is fullness of joy. I want you to experience that joy again. If you receive this message, comment, "The Lord is..."
Thoughts?
I have no idea what version of Psalm 23 that was, but it was probably one of the more powerful ones that so many people know. Even though I walk through, or yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And we refer to this one here quite a bit, actually, and that is the rod and the staff representing the loving guidance. Hey, go this way. And then the rod being you kind of get out of line, you get schwacked with it, or really more than anything, what the rod is there for is to protect the sheep against the predators that are out there. And this is where we get he makes me lie down in green pastures, because a shepherd tries to shepherd you to the places where there is plenty. That way they can get the most fleece out of them, or whatever, the health of the animals that they're caring for. And that's what we need to understand. We need to understand and have that faith in God that he is guiding us to those green pastures. And it's something that we should keep on our hearts all the time. That was an amplified version. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Don.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense now.
It was amplified.
It was.
Yes, it
Very much
was.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Can you read that, please?
Elon Musk at inauguration. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Boy, I believe that. Everything all right over there?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's listen.
All right.
Yes! This is what victory feels like. Yeah! And this was no ordinary victory. This was a fork in the road of human civilization. Okay. You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured. Thanks to you. We're going to have safe cities, finally, safe cities. secure borders, sensible spending, basic stuff. And we're going to take Doge to Mars. I mean, can you imagine how awesome it will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time?
Can we just get it on the moon first?
How inspiring would that be? You know, there's always problems in life. You know, there's this problem, solve that problem. But you know, there need to be things that inspire you. There need to be things that make you glad to wake up in the morning and say, I'm looking forward to the future. Yeah. And I love you guys. So, and let me tell you, I'm gonna work my ass off for you guys. So, I really will. I really will. So, and yeah, but I'm super fired up for the future. It's going to be very exciting. As the president said, we're going to have a golden age. It's going to be fantastic. And one of the fundamental things, one of the most American values that I love is optimism, and this feeling like we're gonna make the future good. We're gonna make it good. So, man, I can't wait. This is gonna be fantastic. So thank you again, and yeah, I'm just so excited about the future. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thoughts?
All right. So wanted to pop up what Mike said here. There we go. Elon is socially awkward and a bit strange, but I like him. I feel the same way, Mike. I think that Elon Musk is just such a high level genius that it's difficult for us to comprehend his awkwardness about it. Keep in mind the movie A Beautiful Mind. I'm sure that he fights demons inside that head every single day that so many of us wouldn't even be able to comprehend what he's thinking about. But I'm going to go out there and say that he's super high functioning when it comes to his level of brilliance. I've seen some of the most brilliant people I've ever that are probably even on the planet, and they keep them squirreled away in some underground place, you know, somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those people, they are so smart that they could figure anything out except for like social interactions. And I think that that's kind of where Elon Musk is he doesn't think about a lot of those things because his mind is going so many other places. And so grace needs to be given to Elon. And I think that that's where this whole Nazi salute crap came from, is because people just aren't willing to give him grace anymore because he isn't the darling that the left always loved so much when he first came out, you know, and he, you know, took over Tesla and all that other stuff. Elon Musk is a different kind of human being. And so the left showing how closed-minded they are right now really says a lot about, you know, them.
Yeah.
Aaron says, thank you, Aaron. Appreciate that.
And Upclin said, I bet Trump had to chase him down to get him in a suit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably
Steph
had to chase him
says,
down.
no, I think he's awkward in social settings.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Santino met people like that at a certain building in Washington.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't exist.
Super brilliant people.
Yeah.
And yeah, just it's difficult because they're on a different level. He's on a different level. And I think that that's something a lot of people can't even comprehend is that different level.
Exactly. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
Tom Homan has an exceptional, clear understanding about what's going to happen next.
Ready?
Yeah.
We're going to take a lot of hate. We're going to be sued every day, numerous times. I think you'll see the left try to control the media. They're going to show the first crying female, first crying child, and say how inhumane we are. But they won't talk about 340,000 children that they've failed to take care of. They're not going to talk about the young women who have been murdered in this country at the hands of criminal cartels. They're not going to talk about the hundreds of angel moms and dads who buried their children. You want to talk about family separation? They buried their children because their children were killed by a member of a criminal cartel or someone that's not supposed to be here. They'll tell one side of the story. They'll try to vilify us, but they're not going to stop us from doing our job. I don't care what the media says about me. If they saw what I saw in 34 years, saw the tragedies I've dealt with in 34 years, they would certainly understand me. They may not still like me, but there's a reason why we do what we do. Yeah. I'm tired of women being raped, making that journey. I'm tired of dead children. I'm tired of women and children being sex trafficked. On this administration, sex trafficking is up 600% of women and children. We have a record number of people on the terrorist watch list being arrested. Historic record, 3,500% increase. Record number of Americans dying of fentanyl. We got a record number of cartel members that have entered this country. You know, the criminal cartels in Mexico making more money than they've ever made in smuggling aliens, trafficking in women and children, and moving dope. So hate all you want. Push the misinformation out all you want. We're not going to slow down. We're not going to go away. We're going to get this done.
Thoughts?
All right. So he said it, and it didn't take but an hour or two. And that is how long it was going to take to show the first crying migrant that has to be nice about it. I mean, look,
Come in the right way.
Look,
My family did.
I understand, but I want to kind of change perspective here a little bit, because we do need a little bit more empathy, because these people were lied to by the exact same people who lied to us, that so many of us weren't able to see through the lie for so long. For us specifically, Kay, we didn't start to wake up until the election was stolen in 2020, before we were able to say, hey, wait, something ain't making sense here. The election was just stolen and nobody's paying attention or cares. And so these people in another country that aren't used to any of the psychological operation that, we've become blind to just through general marketing campaigns, they're going to be 10 times more susceptible because they don't have any defense against it. And so I'm not mad at the people who came across looking for a better life, because everybody's always looking for a better life, right? What I have a problem with are the people who perpetrated this and all the people who made money on it. And Tom Homan brings up the right people. It's the people that are bringing these drugs in, that are profiting off of all of those drugs. They're profiting off of the human trafficking. They're profiting off of, these people don't know that they're getting sold into sex slavery or anything like that. That is a real problem. I feel bad for the people that, put their life savings, and their family could have even pooled together funds to get them here by paying the coyotes for that, right? I'm not mad at them so much as I'm mad at the people that sold them the lie. And those are the people that need to be dealt with. But I think that they need to understand that come through the front door and we'll see what happens. But also at the same time, if we can get rid of the very people that are doing this trafficking of narcotics, of people, of whatever the case is, those, considering that President Trump just labeled them a terrorist organization, then we're going to go after them, would be my assumption. And if they're not around, then those people might not have the need to leave their home, which would be an even better situation for everybody involved. And that would make all of us feel better. I would sleep better at night knowing that there are people that aren't being kicked out of their homes in the middle of the night, so that way they can, do any number of evil, vile things to just truly innocent people.
Yeah.
F. Clint says, that video was BS, man.
Talking about the crime video.
There is going to be theater involved, and they're going to use these people because they know that people are still under the exact same spell that brought so many of these other people here under false pretenses. Are there some that are paid actors? Yeah, but I'm going to say an overwhelming majority of the people that we'll never see were people that were just bamboozled.
Yeah.
AOC crying was more believable.
Jenny says, I'm back. What I missed? Nothing. We paused the show for you.
Yeah, we were waiting for you. We're glad you're back, Jenny.
Yeah. Chachi says, I've got two uncles that had come there first and petitioned their families to come over from the Philippines. They only visited them once a year, didn't even get a chance to see the kids grow up.
All came legally.
Yeah, all came legally.
And my family came legally as well.
Mm-hmm.
But these immigrants, they're running from something. And I think that that's the real point that we need to focus on is let's make it so that way they don't feel like they have to run from anything anymore. And that will, get rid of the problem. See, the border wall, well, one, I don't like the walls because walls work both ways. They keep people in too, which is a bad thing. But also on top of that, if they don't have a reason to come here, then that means that the problem's been dealt with. The wall is a Band-Aid, and getting rid of the reasons why the people need to leave, that's the cure. See, we've gotten so used to living the Band-Aid life that we forgot what it actually takes to, get rid of the disease.
Yeah. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Can you read that, please?
Trump halts refugees. Oh, wait, there's the bottom. It's different. Okay. Trump halts refugees influx for at least 4 months.
Let's listen.
Yesterday was a very big day for the state of Ohio. They had their biggest college football team, Ohio State, won the national championship, defeating Notre Dame. They had their former senator sworn in as vice president of the United States, but there was also an executive order that will directly affect them, that being the executive order by President Trump to slow, or at least for now, temporarily halt the infusion of refugees into the United States of America. Of course, I think everybody remembers hopefully, the Haitian refugee situation. This, of course, resulted in a great song about eating dogs and eating cats, but I digress. According to an article over at Breitbart.com, Donald Trump halts Biden's refugee inflow for months. President Donald Trump, man, I love saying those words. It's great to be able to say that, isn't it? President Donald Trump signed an executive order blocking President Joe Biden's huge inflow of wage-cutting refugees for at least 4 months. The shutdown will help Americans because it trims the government's supply of cheap foreign labor into the nation's workplace. The wage benefits will flow mostly to the many citizens, legal immigrants, and illegal immigrants who are now working in the nation's slaughterhouses that normally hire many refugees. The cutoff of foreign labor will also pressure the meatpacking sector to invest in productivity-boosting robots and recruit some of the several million American men who have fallen out of the economy. The news was released on January 20th, yesterday, by the Associated Press, and they said Trump also intends to suspend refugee settlements for 4 months, the official said. That's a program that for decades has allowed hundreds of thousands of people from around the world fleeing war and persecution to come to the United States. Now, notice how they worded that. Talking about hundreds of thousands of people for decades. Well, they didn't note in there, of course, because they are fake news, left-wing legacy media. What they didn't note is that just in the last 4 years, we have seen hundreds of thousands of refugees, over 200,000 from Afghanistan alone. So when they say for decades, hundreds of thousands of refugees have come in, they conspicuously omit that a huge chunk of them have come just in the last few years. They diffuse it by saying it's been happening for decades, right? Well, Trump wants just a 4-month halt. Okay, let us regroup. Let us get our bearings. Let us figure out what the heck is going on. Because I don't think anybody knows. The media definitely doesn't know. They definitely hope you don't know. I don't think anybody in government really knows the full extent, and those who do are keeping it secret. But I think it's also funny that they go after, halting the Afghanistan refugees. Legacy media is very, how should we say it, selective with their outrage. These are the same people that when Joe Biden had his awful Afghanistan withdrawal, they were making excuses for him. They were saying that it wasn't so bad. Now, all of a sudden, that the refugees have been halted for 4 months, years after the Afghanistan debacle. Now they're saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so terrible. This is awful. This is really bad for the poor Afghanistan people." And they even highlighted in one story that I read, they highlighted the fact that a lot of these people on the flights that have now been halted, a lot of these people apparently include unaccompanied minors because their parents had already come to the United States as refugees. They don't note that, wow, why would they come to the United States as refugees and leave their children behind for the Taliban? Doesn't seem like maybe we're doing a bad thing by halting those flights now.
Thoughts?
All right, sounds like that. Yeah, we're shutting the spigot off. What a great idea! Stop people from coming in and not be the ones actually bringing them in via airplane or any number of various ways. It's been ugly, and this is the thing that obviously upsets everybody because it really does destroy our nation by having this influx of people who really shouldn't be here otherwise. Again, we got to stop the problem first, and that is stop people from coming in. That's first priority. I know that President Trump's going to be going through this and doing it the right way. He's not an imbecile, and he's not trying to pretend to be one to destroy the nation. As a matter of fact, what we're seeing is the exact opposite of that. So yeah, let's just make sure that we stop the inflow of the illegals, and then we can actually worry about getting everything else taken care of, and a lot of it will take care of itself as long as we don't have more and more coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
Sure. Steve Bannon explains why all immigration is illegal immigration.
Steve, quick question here. Has your opinion changed at all about Elon Musk regarding the H-1B visas or
Absolutely no. He collapsed already. He said the next day, "Oh, they need reform." The H-1B visas. Look, there is no legal immigration in the United States. It is all illegal as it's currently because all the system's been gamed. We need a full moratorium, 100% on all immigration for 6 months. And in 6 months, we have to go through all these visa programs, and we have to make sure that American citizens come first. We cannot bring indentured servants from South Asia. It's not fair to them. We're out of the indentured service business in the 19th century. I think we fought a civil war about this. I think we came to the conclusion after that war, you can't have slaves and you can't have indentured service. That service is the servitude. You can't, that's not what it's about. Right? Russian serfs. You can't have that. And that's what the techno-feudalists, look, Silicon Valley's an apartheid state. We have to face that. There was fine while they were all progressive Democrats. But now that they see they have to surrender to MAGA, and they're open to MAGA, to work with MAGA and to take off all the ridiculous censorship, all of a sudden they're the worst person in the world to Maddow and to Biden and to those guys. The only reason is we defeated them. And in their surrender, the next thing that has to happen, we have to break the apartheid state in Silicon Valley. It's not acceptable that blacks and Hispanics and other Americans that are qualified don't have jobs there. They have not shown me not one of the millions of H-1B visa holders here. They have not, and we've asked them, show us one that has a skill set, an education for that billet better than an American. They can't. It's all about hiring people at 1/3 to 50% cheaper that are compliant. Those poor guys come over here, they have to be compliant because they're looking for a green card and chain migration. It's indentured servitude. It's unacceptable. And that's just one. All of the visa programs are corrupt. They're all weighted. The angle of attack is against American citizens. America first, but American citizens first. Everything we have to look at is the prism of American citizenship. Once we do that, we're going to be fine.
Thank you, Steve. So as you heard right there from Steve Bannon, it's not so much regarding legal immigration as much as the fact that the technic bros, the elites, are abusing H-1B visa programs. And as you heard Steve Bannon perfectly say right there, just show us one individual that came into the United States on an H-1B visa program that is here because of their skills, not because the tech oligarchs are able to import them for their cheap labor, but because of their skills.
Boy, this is the thing that pisses me off more than anything else. Doing the jobs Americans won't do. Yet they're the same people when they shut down all of the coal mining operations in West Virginia and Appalachia in general. They're like, learn to code. Go fuck yourself with a cactus with that shit, right?
Right.
It's and I've heard this mentality, and it's not, I mean, there is a lot of it in the whole computer techno geek world, where they feel like it's okay to bring in these indentured servants that you're going to pay a slave wage to do what an American would do for probably twice or even just 75% more. See, the thing is that's how they've been making everybody so broke, because they've been shoving a whole bunch of people who came here illegally even under the guise of legal immigration, when really we didn't need them here because we had unemployment. See, until we have unemployment, or until we have no unemployment or a negative unemployment, we really shouldn't be trying to bring in masses of people. Are there people that, want to immigrate here legally? Yeah, not a problem. I have no problems with immigration whatsoever. But they shouldn't be replacing people for a job that somebody else is already doing for less wages than what it's already being done. If you want to come here and dig ditches like my grandpa did, like my dad had to do, and like I had to do, not a single one of us was super duper wealthy. My mom's side of the family, they were all farmers. So everybody has been hard workers. Nobody's come here and strolled into a computer job right away, getting paid 6 figures a year because they're really good at sitting on their ass for a long time all day, every day. Are there values to having all of this computer crap? Well, from my perspective, no. I think computers have been one of the downfalls of humanity in general. But besides that, it doesn't need to be the major part of our life. Now people are turning their brains over to this AI crap, and they're not even using their brain to come up with an answer for anything. I remember when probably most of us were growing up, where the teachers would tell us there's not going to be a calculator by you when you're doing your math. And so we've gotten lazy. Now we've gotten to the point where we don't even remember a phone number anymore. Well, we got to start taking control over our own lives and stop deferring everything to other people or to computers or stuff like that. I know I got a little bit off base here, but the thing is it makes it easier to enslave a group of people when you have a whole bunch of people come in, do some technical crap that, other people could do, but they do it for less. And then therefore we all have to just take whatever scraps the elites give us. Now we gotta stop these problems. And that first thing is stop bringing in all these experts as if we don't have the education here. I mean, how much of our money has gone to the Department of Education? There shouldn't be a single thing this country needs with as much money as the Department of Education has received. There shouldn't be a gap for anything. If we can make up a whole bunch of genders, then that means that we've got too many overeducated idiots in this country.
Amen.
So we don't need to bring any overeducated idiots from other countries.
Well, there is that.
Just a thought.
I mean, I'm overeducated, but
No, you're not
I'm
overeducated.
cool.
You're not overeducated. Education is a wonderful thing, and it's something that should be held in, kind of a, higher standard than what it has been. But then again, our education system was designed by the Rockefellers and all of their best buds to enslave people. They don't want people to think for themselves. They just want people to do what they're told to do. That's the problem with it.
Well, there is that. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's listen.
All right.
You can be called and distracted. You can move in the mighty power of God and be distracted. And anytime I say the name Samson, what's the other name that goes with it? What's the other name? Distraction cost him everything. Even after God placed his hand, anointing, and approval, and God said, would you do what is unusual to live a life that is unusual? Will you give up the distraction of what everybody else is doing to obey what I'm asking you to do?
Thoughts?
Life is a distraction, and there's plenty of things that gets our minds off of what would be our path. We got to stay focused on our paths, and it's not an easy thing. It's too easy to get distracted, especially with the phone. Lord knows that that thing's designed specifically to keep you distracted and play with your dopamine levels. I was really concerned about how everybody was going to lose their mind when TikTok was shut down for a short period of time. I know there were some people, kind of doing the funky chicken in the corner over there, and thank God it came back on, because I think some people weren't going to make it. But those are the distractions that we have to discipline ourselves with. We can tell people, hey, you're on the phone a lot, and they probably won't appreciate that little tidbit of wisdom, and that's okay. But it's that very thing where we need to focus on ourselves, and we need to make sure that we're the ones that aren't getting distracted away from the things that we know we should be doing better. So whenever you feel like you're distracted by the lure of whatever the case is, there's 7 deadly sins out there. Pick your poison. If that's your distraction, then you already know what you're supposed to be doing. So fight that distraction, overcome that obstacle. Remember, the obstacle is the way, and that obstacle is 100% the distraction.
I love it when you say that.
What, the obstacle's
So
the
it's
way? I know.
Because it's so true.
I know, and I don't like it either. I mean,
but it is true.
Yeah.
It is absolutely, positively 1000% true. Because as you move forward,
Can these people see your pretty face?
you'll see that, as you move forward and you get past that obstacle, it gets so much better.
It really does.
It really does.
And then you got to find the next one.
Yeah.
It's an obstacle course. How fun.
It's a schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Obstacle course, everything.
Yeah. I keep having to see the principal.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that?
You're going to make me
please?
read it. I knew it. Here, let's see. All right. Why California media is completely captured by the government.
Let's listen.
An anchor who's still on TV today in California sat down with me at a coffee shop during the election. He said, Kevin, there are times that we look at what we are told to say and we want to scream at the script because we know it's a lie. But we have to do it because otherwise our reporters won't get invited back into the Newsom press briefing. And we have to be there to cover it. Otherwise, people will go to a different news station. If we don't get invited in, we don't get the coverage of their grand new plan. So really, you don't get exposure to the problems in California through the mainstream television. And I'm not talking about nationwide, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all of the local stations. I think it's bad, the censorship we saw with the Twitter files or at Meta. The same thing is happening at every single news station throughout the entire state. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg was just talking on Joe Rogan about how as soon as they started saying no to the Biden administration, that they weren't going to remove certain posts, they started getting a bunch of agency inquiries and lawsuits against Meta. Well, imagine getting sued if you're a small local TV or radio station in California by the governor. You're screwed.
Thoughts?
That's when you need to reach down and grab a hold and recognize that you got some work to do. Decide whether or not you got the stones. Yeah, you may get fired. So what? What's more important? If you want to sit there and scream at the script or whatever, you can make it and you can sell it inside your head that you're some kind of superhero or whatever because you want to do something. I want to do a lot of things, but I don't do them because of any number of reasons that I have determined it's just not worth it or whatever, right? And we all have that thing. And I know that people get wrapped up in, I got to pay my bills. Well, that's an absolute lack of faith. If you see that something's wrong and you decide that what discretion is the better part of valor more 99.999% of the time. Hey, EWB, what's going on? Anyways, because you're worried about losing your job, even though in your heart you know that what you're doing is wrong, so you can collect a check, you're wrong. You're wrong, and you need to reconsider doing the important thing, doing the right thing. How many people on news channels have we seen where they say they just lost it and they just go out there and they start spitting the truth, knowing that they're going to get launched from their job? See, that's an act of courage. And when you take that act of courage, despite the fact that you know you're going to lose your job, it's admirable and you will be rewarded for it in so many ways. It's scary and it's the unknown, and nobody wants to deal with the unknown. But if nobody stands up, then we never have a chance to fix what's broken so badly. And what we need more than anything else is a lot of fixing, because there's a lot of stuff that's broken. And I know President Trump is going to be doing a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean that we can rest on our laurels and be willing to sit around and wait for Trump to fix everything. He's one guy, and he may have a team of 200 plus people, but that doesn't mean that everything's going to be fixed. There's a lot of work to do, and we got to figure out where we can pick up a shovel and get to work rebuilding this nation, because just because we voted him in doesn't mean we're done. As a matter of fact, the work starts yesterday. Chachi says the anchors that stay in line and go against their gut create their own hells. And I can only imagine, if you stay in line and you keep reading the script that you're told to read, I can only imagine how much that would eat away at your soul every single day. And so the people who make it to the top, that have decided that that's an acceptable thing to do in life, and they make it to the big time in New York City to be the big news anchor or CNN or one of those other 24-hour channels, how do they sleep with themselves at night? I'm sure there's lots of alcohol and drugs and all that other stuff.
Well,
And then that would
that.
explain why they end up, getting into this moral spiral of, doom. And then they end up doing some Epstein Island kind of crap because they figure, you know what? I've already sold my soul. At this point, what difference does it make?
Yeah, exactly. You ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
Legacy media was appalled by the concept of preemptive pardons back in 2020.
Let's listen.
Is that a thing? Preemptive blanket pardons? I mean, I haven't heard about this since like Monopoly with a get out of jail free card.
Trump has discussed with advisors whether to grant preemptive pardons. What does that say? That he wants to excuse them for things before anybody's even saying there's an investigation.
President Trump, as he winds down his last few weeks in office, is considering preemptive pardons. What a mess. More as we know.
Source saying that some of the president's inner circle, well, they're telling him that it would be perfectly fine to pardon his family and other associates preemptively, even though they haven't been charged with any crimes. How much damage could be done to this country can he do to this country on his way out?
God, the talking head. Speaking of people that have no soul, except for the fact that they just wanted to make a buck on TV, but they're big and famous now. Anyways, yeah. Isn't it amusing? Isn't it amusing that everything they ever accused the conservative movement, the traditional republic, the people who love the republic and traditional American values, everything they've ever accused us of, they always end up being the very people who do that. And then they have this sudden onset amnesia about that one specific thing that they just don't seem to remember. Isn't that weird? But it's, I guess when you've, chosen the side that they have, you don't have much of a choice. I don't know if they hear it or not, because after all, they shut themselves down to any semblance or any kind of indicator that they had a soul to begin with. But wow, isn't that something? Isn't that something?
They're just idiots.
I mean, they make a living lying, and then they want to talk about car salesmen.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather trust a used car salesman.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. I don't know. I think when they look in the mirror, they're just like, I'm wonderful.
Yeah, they probably have it, in one of those the stickers that they put on the mirror.
Yeah.
All those little.
Yeah. You're a wonderful person.
I'm a wonderful person.
But
Click your heels 3 times. I'm a wonderful person.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways, all right.
Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
MAGA brings out the best in people.
Let's listen.
All right, let's see.
Damn, I messed up. So they just told me this line is 9 blocks long. Cop just told me he's never seen anything like it. All these people are not going to make it. Hi.
I am so proud of you. I just watched your whole video from downtown last night.
Oh, shit, cool.
Yes, welcome to Washington, D.C.
Thank you.
I'm
What's your
glad you're
name?
here. My name is Lisa. I'm from Northern New York.
Hi, Lisa.
This is a good guy.
Thank
Hold on.
you.
Yeah.
Photo.
Photo. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's go. Hey, go Trump.
Yeah, good Trump.
Baby.
So they were just saying you're probably not going to
We
get
know
in.
that.
Yeah.
We don't care.
You don't care.
We're all here going. We know we're not getting in. We have met people from all over the world. We're having a great time.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
yeah,
enjoyed
yeah,
yourself.
great.
Enjoy. Okay, so I guess we're just going to hang out in the line for now, and we'll see what happens.
Thoughts?
Long lines. Surprise, surprise. But it's nice to see that so many people were out there. You know, people like Jenny and Christian, which is awesome. And I think that they really had a good time, and it must have been an amazing experience. But you know what? We take these opportunities to enjoy the celebrations, especially the great victories. And this was a great victory. Great vibes. I believe that 100%. I could feel that through the little video there. That was neat.
And Mike, not
Oh, come on.
not Mike S, but the other Mike, Brother Bill is from East Texas. Figured I'd just answer that for him real quick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
He just said it. There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Miss Jenny sent me this video.
All right.
And it's actually very amazing. Let's listen.
All right.
Today, as Donald Trump was sworn into office, he forgot to put his hand on the Bible. And Christians are in an uproar. Why did he swear himself into office without putting his hand on the Bible? And I'll tell you what, in my opinion, that was the best thing that could have happened and totally a part of God's plan, because it would have been a sin for him to put his hand on the Bible and swear into office. It just shows to me how little Christians really know and understand about the Bible. Jesus would tell us it is a sin to put your hand on the Bible and swear to God that you're going to uphold the Constitution. Here's what it says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 33. Jesus would say in the Sermon on the Mount, "Again, you have heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord the oaths that you have sworn. But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Do not take an oath by your head, because you cannot make one hair white or black. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Anything more than this comes from evil." You see, Christians don't even know their Bible. Did you know the first time a president swore in under oath on a Bible, it was George Washington, and he specifically requested a Masonic Bible to do so? So from its very outset, it was wrong. And the Bible says it's wrong. We're not supposed to swear to God. We're not supposed to make some promise on some other entity or on God himself or on the city of the great king or anything. Simply let your yes be yes and your no be no. So if you're using that as a leg to stand on to say that he did something sinful, you just don't know your Bible. Sorry.
Thoughts?
It does say we're not supposed to swear an oath. It's something that's been a part of this nation, and whether or not he put his hand on the Bible really wouldn't make a difference. If there's an oath, there's an oath. But I don't believe that that oath is going to keep him out of heaven. It seems a little far-fetched. I think what some of that is getting at is, you know, I swear to God about this. I swear to God about that. Everybody's swearing to, you know, something all of the time. And what I'm really understanding out of this is make your word your bond. Do what you're going to say. And it's something that we need to make a regular part of our lives, just as good human beings. If you say you're going to do something, you follow through, you do it, the end. That's it. Now, can we always follow through with it? No, but we should always make it 100% our focus that if we say we're going to do something, do that. And it shouldn't require an oath. It should just be a part of who you are. And that's what I think it's really getting at. Now, President Trump not putting his hand on the Bible, like I said yesterday, I think part of that is that he had already sworn in his oath to office before that event. So I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But people are getting hung up on the wrong things right now, and we don't need to get sidetracked with sideshows like that. And I understand people are going to be a little bit upset about it, but in the end, it's about what he does, and he's already promised so much. Do we really need to have him put his hand on the book because he's already done it once before? And I truly don't believe that he ever left the position of the president of the United States, even though Biden's been in that spot technically for the past 4 years.
Exactly. Carol says, your word is your word.
Boom.
Boom.
Yep.
Let's listen to Matthew 6:34.
All right.
The Bible says in Matthew 6:34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." God is reminding you today not to let the weight of tomorrow steal the peace of today. It's easy to get caught up in the worries and uncertainties of what lies ahead, but the truth is, you don't have to carry that burden. Each day is a gift, and with it comes the grace you need for that day alone. You don't have to figure everything out right now. Trust that God has already gone before you and prepared the way. He holds your future in his hands, and he is faithful to guide you every step of the way. When the worries of tomorrow start creeping in, remind yourself that God is already there. He's already in your tomorrow, working things out for your good. You don't need to be anxious about the unknown because the God who holds the future is the same God who holds you in the present. Focus on today. Take each moment as it comes and know that God's grace will be enough for you. Don't let the fear of what's ahead distract you from the blessings and peace that are available to you now. Rest in his presence and let him carry the weight of what's to come. If this message speaks to you,
Thoughts?
All right. Matthew chapter 6, verse 34 says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Boy, ain't that the truth. See, the thing is when we steal tomorrow's worries and bring them in today, it doesn't mean that you're going to be fixing anything at all. It just means that you're preemptively stressing about something you were going to stress about anyways. Worry about the present. Worry about the here and now. And that is what we should be focusing on. And we may think that there may be bigger things going on, but if it wasn't happening right then and right there, then it wasn't time for it, which is a difficult part of the process of following our path. It's definitely a difficult part of it, is trying to stay in the very real present right now and recognizing where we can be of benefit to where we're at. And it's kind of the flip side of Teddy Roosevelt's old phrase of "do what you can with what you have where you are." And if you're worrying about the future, then you're not doing what you can where you are. You're doing nothing for like some time in the future. So make sure you're focused on the here and now, because it can be a lot more productive if you don't steal tomorrow's problems for today. I'm going to start rambling, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you read that, please?
All of these criminals are walking free.
Let's listen.
Mm-hmm.
So Hillary Clinton deleted 30,000 emails. Hunter Biden is a crack addict with hookers. Joe Biden sold access to the U.S. government to Chinese communists. Pelosi is rich from insider trading. Stephen D'Antuono of the FBI staged the Gretchen Whitmer Fednapping and January 6th. Mayorkas allowed the invasion of our border. Epstein's clients walk free. Dr. Fauci lied about funding gain of function experiments that created the COVID-19 virus. Pfizer and Moderna lied about the safety of their mRNA COVID jab. Andrew Cuomo killed 11,000 elderly people in New York. Planned Parenthood sold aborted baby body parts. Shall I go on? These people are all walking free. And yet, Trump is the one who's convicted for paying his attorney.
Thoughts?
So we know these criminals are everywhere. They've been in charge for so long. It's not going to happen overnight. It should be happening soon. And I look forward to the first arrest that's going to shock the world if that wasn't President Trump already. I know some of these people are going to be going down. I know some of these people aren't going to go down, but that's another story for another day. But these are some of the most vile criminals that have ever been in our country, or probably even the world, because their designs were solely for their own benefit and at the demise of everybody else. So that way they could be little kings and queens, you know, as if they're little Disney princesses everywhere, Big Mike and co. So what's going to happen? Well, right now it seems like they're walking scot-free, but I think that they already know that their days are numbered. We're just waiting for the hammer to drop and see how everything plays out. I know I'm personally excited to see how justice is going to work. We just need to start to see how it's going to start happening soon. Otherwise, people are going to get pretty frustrated, and I don't think that that's going to happen. Chachi says, the declass and disclosure currently happening is delicious. There is some great disclosures and declassifications going on. I know we're waiting on JFK, RFK, and Martin Luther King, and I think that that's going to point towards Daddy Bush, and I think that that's going to be one of the dominoes that starts the whole thing going down the road. It's got to be played out carefully, because you have to remember the lunatic fringe on the left side. You start talking about Bush and they're going to be like, see, we told you so, we told you so. So it's all going to come out some way, somehow. And I think that they got to get linked together first.
Absolutely. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read that, please?
All right. Megan Kelly says, Lauren Sanchez looked like a hooker at Trump's inauguration.
Let's listen.
They're vicious because Jeff Bezos runs the Washington Post, owns it, and owns Amazon, of course. And I will tell you, this is not my first time saying she dresses like a hooker, because she does. And we called out, we had to deal with some Hollywood PR firm. I can't remember who we were trying to get, but we tried to avoid those people, but sometimes you can't. And this PR agent went off on our booker. They're so angry because they represent her or they do some business with her. And she had, talked to them, whatever. It's like those two don't like to be made fun of. Yep. He's done a lot to change his look. He looks nothing like he looked 20 years ago. I don't think she's seen a doctor. She doesn't want to go under the scalp. I mean, you tell me. That's not natural. No. And that's fine if that's your choice, but have some dignity and some respect for your setting in your circumstances. No one should be talking about your tits. Sorry. They should be talking about the inauguration.
Thoughts?
All right. I don't know exactly what was going on there. I do remember seeing the picture of Zuckerberg doing the little cross look over there.
Jeff Bezos' girlfriend or fiance or wife or whatever she is.
American standards of dress has changed considerably over the years. Well, ever since the swamp has been telling us how we should be living via the Tell Live Vision, which has been programming us through their channeling device that they've been doing, telling us that this is the kind of crap that we need to look like. Of course, then again, let's see what SpongeBob and Nickelodeon has done to all of our children as they've grown up, and they seem to think that all of that is acceptable, and they're absolutely incapable of taking care of themselves if need be in so many ways. We got to get back to the basics, folks, and this kind of crap about some billionaires, wife's boobs or girlfriend's boobs is of no value whatsoever. More distraction. Let's focus on the stuff that needs to get done. I missed what was Jenny's.
Oh, she said, Santino, are you singing Barbie Girl? I said, he was, Jenny. She laughed. And so did Wendy.
Well, she was a Barbie.
I know. And
I'm a Barbie
Chachi
girl.
says she needs to
in a
calm her
Barbie
tits.
world. Calm her tits. She does need to calm her tits.
Uh-huh.
But that's kind of how she probably got there because, well, men are visual creatures and
Yeah.
we like boobies. Mike says, if you're going to show them, I'm going to look, if you're putting it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard.
Yes.
It is a discipline that is challenging more so today than it would have been 30 years ago.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. And the gangsta prison BS too, lowering standards and we'll be driving, so lurking now. Well, lurk away, be safe.
Lurk away.
It's crazy out there on the roads.
It is. I know. Calm her tits.
Yep. Calm your tits.
You ready?
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is very
I've been listening the whole show. If y'all could only see the eye roll, y'all may have heard it.
Let's listen.
We should.
I know, but TikTok. Just watch.
You're going to want to go into your settings and privacy, scroll down to terms and policies, look at open source software notices. Click there. All right. Now you're going to scroll down, 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 down. I'm going to fast forward this a little, but you can do this yourself. You're going to continue to scroll. You see BS3 clause, new or revised license. Facebook, network connection class, copyright C 2015, Facebook Incorporated, all rights reserved. For those of you that said it, you're absolutely correct. The TikTok blackout was a server transfer. If you don't believe me, go to your settings and do this yourself.
Thoughts?
This is something people were actually talking about beforehand. It was on the lives where people were saying that the bubbles and the thumbs ups and the hearts and all that in the lives had changed a week before the blackout.
Shauna said something about
It
it.
was Shauna who said something about that. Yeah. And it was
Hello, new friend.
hey, new friend, CNA Production. I think they've been here before.
Yes.
Yes, it is live. Very much so. Yeah. Anyway, it's something that was kind of talked about already, and I think that the transition to kind of a Facebook, I guess, foundation in the background has probably been going on for a little bit of time. Not a surprise. We know that they weren't going to let the Communist Chinese Party continue to do what they were doing before, and I know that this is all based on data and who owns our data. If we could only have the ownership of our own data, that would be amazing. But that's something that's going to, again, we can't rest on our laurels just because we think President Trump, or we know that President Trump won, doesn't mean that everything that's going to be in our best interest is going to happen. So we got to make sure that we're vigilant and we're paying attention to all this stuff. Mike says, I did see Trump told the DC prison either release the J6ers he pardoned or he will send in the U.S. Marshals. That would be awesome. Let's see. CNA Production says, disclaimer, an old drunkard here. Chat gypsy, a harmless trowel, may offend, just making my rounds. Go easy, mods. Well, you know what? All we ask for is respect and we'll give it back. And YouTube sent us. All right, awesome. And you know what? Everybody's welcome. If you have comments, so long as they're respectful, we'll have a conversation.
Yep, absolutely. So this is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. So you say.
On the inauguration invitation, look what they put.
I can't read that. City of Washington. Oh, well, that's a little bit different.
Doesn't say Washington, D.C.
No, it doesn't say
It
the District of
says-
Columbia now, does it?
No, it says City of Washington.
Yeah. Okay, this is deep conspiracy kind of stuff
So
there.
thoughts?
Have we seen any paperwork to say that the corporation is done yet? Have we seen anything?
I'm going to put it in Telegram, but it says City of Washington.
Mike says, boss man is telling him to F around and find out. FAFO.
Yeah.
And I will say that there were a couple of statements, comments, whatever that were made during all of the stuff that was going on yesterday during the inauguration. And it did seem like there were some hints that they were going specifically after the corporation of the United States. I don't know. And I wasn't paying attention to the gold fringe thing, but I'm not too keen on the whole gold fringe around the flag thing because I've seen it come and go so many times. It's difficult to say this is exactly it. Chachi says the corporation is dead and we are now a republic. And I will say that a lot of the ceremonies and festivities yesterday had a much more traditional feel and appeal to them. And it made it feel like to me that it was anti-corporation of, not, corporate big money kind of stuff, but the corporation that we all talk about, that supposedly owns the country or owned the country, i.e. Jekyll Island and all that other jazz. It really did seem like there were a lot of things to kind of poke them in the eye. The swamp. Mike says, I have the U.S. corporation bankruptcy papers.
Really?
All right. Actually, you know what? I have seen something about that on the internet once upon a time. I haven't really dove deep into the whole corporation thing because I refuse to acknowledge, even if it does exist, I refuse to acknowledge its validity. So you can make up all your fake crap all you want, but the Constitution is the law of the land that I swore an oath to. Mike says legislation is in Congress now to end federal income tax and the Federal Reserve. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if we can get rid of the Federal Reserve, the world will be a much better place. Jenny says Google Maps says Washington, no DC. Even on the Google, huh? That's an interesting change. See, and a lot of these changes might be transparent to us in so many ways because how do you explain the whole corporation stole the country kind of thing? It might be easier just to kind of sweep that crap under the rug and just go on with business as usual kind of thing. Be a lot easier because remember, there's people that get led to do stuff that is not in their best interests. And so trying to explain all of this stuff to people who were never paying attention to begin with might be significantly counterproductive than actually just kind of continuing on with the show, and the Plato's allegory of the cave kind of show. Chachi says they're broke. They blew their cash on the 45 term. And I think that was one of the things about the Biden term is they made them spend all of the money to make sure that they had no ability to do anything. Also, it cheapened the dollar significantly more, therefore taking away the purchase power of each and every dollar that they printed, out of thin air.
Yeah.
Mike says, I will send them to you. I got them off the .gov. Really? Yeah, send that into the Telegram chat, please. Yeah, lots of great information gets shared on Telegram.
It really
and that'd be a
does.
good spot for it. Thank you, Mike. I do appreciate that, man. Man, y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Esto says, before swearing in, speakers kept saying democracy. Trump referred to republic numerous times. Actually, he did. Then Chachi says, normies will notice and research on their own if they desire.
Yep.
100% right there on the nose, Chachi.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's listen.
All right.
As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
The fact that this shit even had to be said aloud and brought up at a presidential inauguration just goes to show why we needed this man back in office so bad. Welcome home, Trump. Get shit done.
Thoughts?
All right. So this is going to have far-reaching implications that will appear transparent to so many people, and won't make a bit of difference in anybody's lives, because the people who weren't going to use pronouns, surprise, they're still not going to use them. The people who use those pronouns and whatnot, guess what? They're still going to use pronouns. They just can't force the government to use their pronouns, despite what their genetic makeup may actually be. Are they carrying a double X chromosome or are they carrying an XY chromosome? And that's,
Christian.
Hey, Christian, what's going on, man? Much love to you too, bro.
We love
We heard you
you.
guys had a great time out there, and we're super happy to hear about that. And we're glad y'all made it back home safe. And I hope that it was an amazing time for y'all, and I hope that it was fulfilling for you. Anyways, where was I at? I got sidetracked there. Interesting. Thank you. Okay.
You were talking about
Yes. You weren't
the
even listening.
normies. Yes, I was.
Anyways, whatever. Anyways, we're moving on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's right. The not the normies, the transgender thing.
Yeah.
All right. And then the other thing about this is I think that this gender affirming care that we the people have been paying for out of our pocket for that
So
medical
dumb.
for that medical experimentation, I don't think that we're going to be forced to pay for that any longer, especially considering that the science shows that it actually causes more emotional and mental harm to the people who decide to go through with those surgeries than don't. We really need to use real science and figure out whether or not it's helping anybody. But I will say that the science is already kind of showing that it's counterproductive to people's mental health. And it's something that can't be undone.
Uh-huh.
But then again, people have been put on, all of this chemical diet, and it throws everybody out of whack. I just want the water clean for
What
starters.
kind of chemical diet?
What do you mean? What kind of chemical
You
diet?
mean the water?
Well, I'm talking about the water.
the
I'm talking
food.
about all the crap that they put in the chickens, all the crap that they put in the beef, everything. It's in the food. They're doing the genetic
Growing the
modification.
lab meat.
Well, yeah, lab grown meat. That's another one. Let's talk about the Monsanto food-ish kind of stuff that they keep putting in the
Food-ish.
stuff that they put in the grocery stores. CNA Productions says, should we assume that all babies are trans until they're old enough to declare their pronouns?
Hey, no, trust me, the mods are laughing right now.
Oh yeah, they agree
we
with
like
you.
that.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
You're not gonna have any.
No,
issues
we're
with
not
that
those
around here.
kind of people over here.
No.
CNA.
No, I'd rather have a civil discussion, and honestly, it sounds like you're just fine.
Yeah, you're just fine.
That's better. Forgot Rumble is better. Let's see.
I know we got a
Mr. Dad. Thanks. They say CNA Production says drags are just sex shows making fun of women by over exaggerating everything. Definitely not something kids should be a part of ever. Until you're an adult, that's why we have adult nightlife. 100%
Amen.
on the nose. Amen. I agree with you,
Amen.
and that's something that we've said. I've said that shouldn't even be a thing until human beings' brains are fully developed, and that doesn't happen until 25. So before you start cutting off the twig and berries, so that way you can have a hatchet wound in place of it, I'm going to say that no, you shouldn't be able to do that because your brain needs to be fully formed. 100%. I agree with you. I don't believe that anybody else should pay for that. Also, since it is medical experimentation, which hasn't been really getting kind of pushed out there to those people who have been going and being a part of these medical experiments, I'd say that these people have been bamboozled because, and we've looked it up here online specifically. If you look up depression and you look up, or not depression, dysphoria, just dysphoria in general, the definition of medical definition of dysphoria and the medical definition for gender dysphoria, exact same things. There you go. Exact same symptoms, just put in different orders to confuse people who may even be doing some kind of general basic research on their own, which we were told not to do our own research. But whatever. Anyways, regardless of that, it's something that they've been taking advantage of the more innocent minded.
Yes.
That's the part that pisses me off more
And
than
here's
anything
the
else.
problem.
Because we had the next door neighbors that were trans.
Yes.
And they were actually, I mean, not actually, they were very decent people. I mean, you didn't want to confront them about, you know, what they felt they were in terms of, you know, their appearance or anything, but they were good neighbors. It's just some things have been going on that shouldn't be going on.
Exactly. And here's my problem is I could not join the military because I'm allergic to bees and I have to have an EpiPen, and they cannot, you know, they wouldn't want to take my EpiPen into battle for me. But yet someone who has their pee-pee cut off and has an open wound and has to take medicine every day
to keep it from healing. The medicine is designed to keep
Exactly.
it from closing up, to stop the body doing what it naturally needs to do, which would be a bad thing. How do you, if somebody gets shot and you're taking medication to keep you from healing up, what do we do at that point in time? It doesn't make sense. And you bring that up. If you have a wool allergy, guess what? You can't go in the military because there is a wool-based uniform and so much. See, we make special exceptions, and that's the thing that most everybody gets upset about is there's different standards, and it's those different standards, especially in the military where everything's supposed to be uniform.
Yeah.
Surprise. So you're saying if genitals don't define gender, how does removing them confirm it? You kids are weird. What?
I think he's joking.
Okay.
With this, or they are joking with
If
this.
genitals don't
What
define
are
gender,
your
how does
pronouns, CNA? Since we're talking about pronouns.
While you do that, why don't we play a video?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's listen.
All right.
Stop expecting out of people what only God can give. This is why we get depressed. We keep waiting on people to complete us. If you wait on somebody to complete you, you are going to be in a constant state of suspension, LJ. There are some things that are just between you and God. Only God, just the two of us. I hear God saying, quit putting demands on people that are unreasonable. Let me fill those spaces. Let me have that room. Let me have that question.
Actually a little bit going on there, but you know what? It's what's going on. Okay. Anyways, all right. So, all right. We'll work on that. Anyway, God. Okay. All of these distractions got me. I'm having a night tonight. It's like my ADD
Don't
is.
expect other people. Don't expect other people to do things that God can only do for you.
Well, okay, thank you. And that's not kind of where I was going, but that's probably the message that's needed. So we gotta go where we're being led. We can't force a situation. We can't make it bend to our will. And when that happens in life, that's when we're being told to let go of the reins. And it's been a long time since we talked about the little saying that we have in a frame that was given to us, and that was God is still writing your story. Stop trying to steal the pen. Trust the author, which is a difficult thing to let go of because it's our nature as human beings to try to make things go the way we would like to. But when things don't go our way, we have a tendency to get upset and angry about something that we have no control over, and that's what we need to work on is recognize when we don't have that power to be able to influence our current situation. And it's like holding on to a rock in a river. You want to go down the river. You got your raft, go down the river. Don't be trying to, hang out with the rock in the middle of it. You're going to get beat up, sucked under the water, and who knows all the bad things that could happen to you. So what do? You need to go with the flow of life, or like a surfer riding a wave. A surfer can't force the wave to do whatever it is that the surfer wants the wave to do. They got to find out the timing. They got to understand what's going on, the surfers that are around them, and then pick that perfect wave. And that's kind of part of letting God do his part, is to recognize, what, we're just on a ride, and we have a part to play in it. We might have to paddle a little bit. That's okay. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be paddling up the river. That'd be awful. It'd be a big struggle and you're going to be exhausted. try to go with the flow of life, and
Yeah.
trying to understand how life can flow can make us all a little bit more easy. It makes life a little bit easier, and go easy. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Brother Bill also says, I also heard a sermon about the same thing Sunday, that God tells us some things we're not meant to share. They're just for you. Oh, that's a good point, sir. Is it C or G?
C.
CNA Productions says, what is patriotism? I'll tell you, patriotism. It's a sense of personal identification with the country. It is a special affection for one's own country, special concern for the well-being of the country, and a willingness to sacrifice to promote the country's good. Is a God necessary for this? For this nation and the way this nation was built, I would say most assuredly God is important in our American Republic, because it was founded on the biblical principles that are very unique to our nation versus any other nation up to that point in time, i.e., the innocent until proven guilty, biblical, and thou shalt not kill. I mean, yes, morally, we should be intelligent enough to understand that, killing people is a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah. But some people don't get it. That's why we have gun-free zones, right? Because some people don't get it. But those who are part of a republic that is a nation governed by a set of laws, those laws need to be backed up by something. And a lot of that has been written since mankind kind of started. Start with the Magna Carta. If we throw out the Magna Carta, how much of what our nation is built off of really doesn't mean anything anymore. And it's not just the Magna Carta. It's so many other documents. And the Bible, I believe, is truly important because it sets the foundation for what we are. After all, Thomas Jefferson, the Jefferson Bible removed any of the miracles out of the New Testament and spoke of the morals of Jesus. And I think that is the driving impetus, the foundation for what made our American moral character are the morals that were presented in the New Testament. And that's what we should be striving to get to. But it will be a long time before we even get to that place as individuals, let alone as a nation. But that is what is in our best interests as humanity, is to try to improve ourselves more and more. So for me personally, I believe that the Bible is important, but I don't believe that somebody has to believe in God to function properly in society, if that makes sense. I think that's getting there. Aaron says that question about God being nice already makes me think CNA is more like sapioplex. Interesting. Steph says, I kind of been thinking we have been something different in the atmosphere other than freedom. Something is changing. Something is changing 100%. I do believe that. And I think that what's really changing is the mentality of the people. So many people didn't have a positive sense about where we were headed because of what happened with Biden stealing the election. Whereas now people are actually seeing the fruits of that labor. A lot of people didn't believe in Q, and they will continue to not believe in what Q was saying. But that doesn't discount the fact that that certainly played a gigantic role. Whether or not it can be proved, because it's all coincidental, is neither here nor there. It's something that has certainly affected the psyche of not only the American people, but the people around the world who have been watching us as we've been going through this. Brother Bill says, God exists whether you believe it or not, but he may just show you that he is. CNA says, the U.S. Constitution merely affirms what are considered to be natural or God-given rights. It does not grant rights. It does, however, limit government's power to regulate those rights. Agreed, 100%. CNA says, no, not properly speaking, it does not grant them. They cannot be granted by some mere government. Very true.
Very true.
I probably misspoke there, but it's thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
I do appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done government anything other than just talk about it here.
Are you ready?
Guess I got to go back to school.
Oh, stop it. Are you ready?
I probably should take a civics class. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's listen.
All right.
Good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Protracted and patient effort is needed.
Thought.
All right. Step by step, one foot in front of the other. It's about continuing on. It's about making those little pieces of progress every single day. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Pick your oh God, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's escaping me. Analogy, I think, is what I'm looking for here. Pick your analogy as to what you need to encourage yourself to continue with that tiny little bit of progress. Again, remember, the American people through these past 4 years have stood up and spoken truth to power about the fact that the election was stolen, about everything that the Biden crime syndicate has been doing, everything about the Clintons, the Bushes, name a corrupt politician, and you're probably right. But the only way we have been able to get to this point is by continuing to take those little steps, despite how bleak it looked at any point in time. And so when things look bad, you continue to take that step because you're making that positive movement. And when you're making those positive movements, you're putting your intentions out there to God or the universe, however you want to put it out there, the great energy from beyond, whatever the case is, mass consciousness. But as you are continuing to make those movements forward, you are making your intentions known. Where your attention goes, energy flows. And if you're putting your energy into something that is moving forward, then you may have stumbles every now and then, but you are creating something that is much better than was. And so we may not see the big victories very often. And that's why it's important to take a look back at the progress that you've made over periods of time. And you'll recognize that each one of those steps, that continuing on, despite the fact that it may not have seemed like it was going to be positive, that you're just trudging, nothing more than simply the impulse to continue on, but you will see victory that way. You will never see victory if you give up. So make sure that those positive things that you seek in your life are done with an effort to improve not only your life, but the world around you. And that's where you will find your true fulfillment in life. So make sure you keep on making those positive steps forward, friend.
Absolutely.
Do you want to say something or you want me to go ahead and read
Go
CNA?
ahead.
Okay. CNA says, "I'll come on. It's about discourse, you crazy kids." I don't think anybody's upset.
Yeah.
CNA says, "Dear God, thank you for helping me to never fear things that will never happen. You kids are weird in a good way." Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I can accept weird.
Yes.
Mike says, "Also just saw that U.S. Marshals had to enter the D.C. federal prison and release the J6 hostages. Are you serious? I thought that they released. They must have held on to a couple of them, huh?"
It's ridiculous. Did they really think that was going to work out?
I still believe that when you're painted in a corner, you don't have too many options left, and you're just gonna go down with the ship at a certain point in time.
Absolutely.
That's the scary part out of all of this, is the people who are willing to go down with the ship. The corporate ship.
It's just ridiculous.
Mhm.
I mean, they should know that Trump says what he means and means what he says. So good on them for being dumb shits.
There you go. Keep it classy, babe.
I know.
I'm trying to find the news article about that, where they had to send the marshals in. It hasn't come up yet on my news feed. Anyway, so yeah, once we get something about that, we'll certainly play that because that's interesting, and that says that there may be more hostility to come or hostilities to come, which is not anything any of us want. Mike says DC was refusing to release them. Apparently,
Yeah.
I'm sure that went over like a fart in church. Brother Bill says. Sounds like some prison guards need to experience the prisoner side of life a while. I think that's going to happen. I really do. But the trials will happen first. If we don't do things in the legal way, we are worse than those who we say have been stealing the republic this entire time.
Exactly.
Shit was good.
See?
All right. CNA says, Dat, why you think the all-powerful creator of the universe has such a fetish for human currency? Not currency. Not at all. Why would we assume that? What did I say that would indicate that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he has any care. He has no need for that. That's not going to help anything out at all. No, it's about us, doing our part.
We have to do our part.
We'll have the philosophical discussion another time because I believe that we're about 8 minutes over that time. So anyways, like to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. And we look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. It's at that time, be it 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on that channel, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, Rumble, and pill.net.
And if you haven't already, please take a minute and give us that virtual hug. If you're over on Rumble or YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're over on pill.net, take that red pill. If you're over on X, smash that heart. And if you're on Facebook, you're our family. You like to push buttons.
We know this.
So go over there and push some buttons.
Start pushing buttons, everybody.
Also, if you wouldn't mind leaving us a comment after the fact, really helps us with the algorithm. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you know every time we go live, which is Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
All right, everybody. We've truly appreciated all of y'all joining us tonight. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We love you all. Have a great night. Be safe, and God bless each and every one of you.